recording. The video is now recording. Hello, everybody. Hello. All right. Does everybody like the beard? Keep it or not? Let us know. We like it. I like it. Yeah, vote. Vote. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Do. All right, here we go. Let me fire this up. Yes.
Recorded live.
GC Community Chat, show number 214.
This is Mary Ribeiro, Executive Director with Seniors Helping Seniors, and you are listening to Garden City Community Chat. And now, host Carrie Parton.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Carrie, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc, Doppler Tom Iwinski, and Derek Parton. This show is dedicated to you, the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding communities. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of GC Community Chat. It's Thursday, August 28th, 2014. And you are listening to show number 214. Remember, no one is more committed to the businesses and residents than GC Community Chat. If you'd like us to promote your business or your organization or just give a shout out to your community, then GC Community Chat is here for you. We are all about promoting our community and yours. Okay, Richard is off once again. Can you believe it? So tonight we have the pleasure of welcoming our favorite state representative and future state senator, Mr. David Knezek. David, how you doing?
I'm very well, Kerry. These are big shoes to fill, but I like the seat better.
Huge
shoes.
We'll give him a big head. And also a great supporter and friend of the show and former city councilman, Mr. Mike Jones. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kerry. Glad to be here.
Good. How you been? All right?
Oh, pretty good. I just thought about taking a nap and skipping the show after working all afternoon and getting humidity down at Comerica Park.
That's a long day, yeah. Well, we're happy you're here with us.
Thank you.
And last but not least, our favorite weatherman, Mr. Tom Iwinski. Tom, how are you?
Doing all right. How are you all doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right. Can't complain. Wouldn't do any good, right?
That's right.
Don't sound so enthused, Tom.
Don't right.
All right, tonight, David, we have some state updates for us and would like to talk about some local topic issues and events as well with both of you. So does that sound like a plan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. We were originally supposed to have Mr. Aaron Sandberg, a representative from Vima Energy Drink, with us tonight, but because of a job obligation in Dallas, we'll have to reschedule him at a later date. So tonight I thought we would just open it up to different topics and let it rip. So we'll see.
You're trying to replicate the Sunday shows. I like that.
No. I don't
like
like
that.
copying. Oh, that's right. They do have Let It Rip.
I've been on it before.
That's right. You were. Oh,
You might get slapped with a lawsuit.
Copyright.
Yeah,
Copyright.
infringement.
I apologize.
Jeez.
All right. We'll let it fly.
I like that.
We'll let it fly.
Let it fly.
All right. Okay, let's get a check of the current weather and the holiday weather with Doppler Tom. And then Joey and Holly, they're going to be here with their gardening in 2 minutes tips. And then we'll get to our topics for tonight. All right?
Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away.
Tom, how you doing? Hey, it cooled off nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it definitely was a little bumpy early in the week with heat, humidity, and storms, and now it's starting to cool down a little bit. But reminiscing about what happened on Tuesday, we got up to 90 degrees, which is only about the second or third time it happened all summer, which is very unusual. It's been a very cool summer, and on top of all the heat and humidity, it sparked a little line of storms ahead of this cold front, and a lot of places got some tree damage and power outages all across Metro Detroit. Luckily, Garden City wasn't hit too bad. Some areas did lose power, but not too many trees. So Northville and Livonia and all the places around Metro Detroit got hit pretty bad. And that threat is now long gone, and we did see some rain as well. Some flooding on those freeways again, which we don't want to see, but we did see that again. But for the rest of tonight, as you said, it cooled down. It's much cooler. Right now we're in the 60s. Pretty nice out there. We're going to be in the 50s for overnight lows out there, and there's only going to be a few clouds from time to time. So it's a nice, cool evening out there. And it'll start warming up as we get to tomorrow, and those clouds will start building as well, upper 70s for high temperatures. And as we get into the Labor Day weekend, it's going to be okay. Saturday, it looks like it's going to be a little bit rainy, especially late in the day during the afternoon and evening hours. I'm not expecting a whole lot of crazy weather, but definitely some heavy downpours can definitely be in the cards. So if you have any outdoor plans on Saturday, make sure you keep an eye to the sky because we could see some heavy downpours out there. But if you have any plans on Sunday, it should start drying out and temperatures will remain in the low 80s, so it'll be a decent day. So Sunday is better than Saturday, but on Labor Day itself, we're back in it with on and off rain throughout the day. So not the best 3-day weekend out there, but you'll definitely see some dry times on all 3 days. But Saturday and Monday, Labor Day, we'll see some rain at times, and it could be heavy. So keep tuned to that and keep that in your focus. And then as we get later into next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, it will continue to stay mild. It's not going to be very warm. It'll probably be in the low 80s, but it will be much drier out there. And as we get to even later in the week on Thursday and Friday, it will continue to stay dry and mild with the low 80s. So if you have any outdoor plans, like I said, you got to keep tuned to the weather and can't really be confident it's going to stay dry this weekend. So keep tuned to that. Other than that, the weather all across the United States has been okay. We'll see some storms all across the United States, like we do usually for this time of year. All across the South is hot, humid, with all those storms bubbling up during the afternoon hours. The tropics have been pretty quiet, affecting land. We've seen a lot of hurricanes out there that have been producing a lot of big swells all across on each coast from the Pacific and the Atlantic, but all those hurricanes are going out to sea and not affecting anyway, so that's no immediate threat for the Labor Day weekend hurricane-wise. But reminiscing of very quickly, it's been 9 years tomorrow when Hurricane Katrina made landfall in the Gulf Coast. So that's a very, very big anniversary coming up. A lot of people were affected.
Seems that.
But other than that, it's going to stay very stormy across the eastern United States and all across the Labor Day weekend, and very dry across the west where they desperately need that rain, and we're not going to see a whole lot of rain out there. So that's pretty much the weather out there. If you want to keep tuned to this and keep tuned to the Labor Day weekend weather, just go to my website, dopplertomsweather.com, and I'll keep you informed.
Hey, Tom. This is Mike Jones. I wanted to know if you could give me a weather report for Ann Arbor on Saturday from about noon to 4.
Pouring rain.
When I will be there with my 2 grandkids and my wife.
How's it look for Saturday?
As I said, we'll see some on and off rain as we get later in the afternoon hours. So it's going to start out pretty dry, but as you get toward the end of that time frame, we'll see some rain starting to develop. So I think the majority of that time frame will be dry, though.
Thank you.
Cool.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Take your rain poncho anyway. Or what are you, garbage bags? They cut the heads and arms out now? Is that what they do or what? I don't know. All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's see what's new in gardening with Joey and Holly, and then we'll get to our topics.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes. Saving seeds is not as difficult as you may think it to be.
Saving seeds from items like peppers, melons, and squash are simple, and even corn. You want to let that produce get to its optimum maturity, and then you simply save the seed, let it dry, and then you can plant it next year. Another great part about saving seeds is that that item is then climatized to your area, so that will give the seed the opportunity to grow properly in your climate.
Tomatoes are one of the most enjoyable produce that you grow in your garden. Saving those seeds take a few extra steps. You want to first identify the variety that you have saved. Now you can save hybrid, organic, and heirloom seeds. Just keep in mind that hybrid seeds may not produce the exact same traits as the plant that you have got the seeds from. You want to take these and put in a jar or a bowl, and over time, there's many different wonderful resources online. Over a 72 to 84-hour period, they will begin to ferment. The key to saving tomato seeds is to get that gelatinous slime off the seeds. Then you rinse them, put them on a plate or tray, and let them dry. So then they can be put in a proper storage facility or container so you can plant them again next year.
One thing people don't realize is that when it comes to something like a seedless watermelon, you may find a seed inside, but that is not the seed you want to save. You want to save seeds from a seeded watermelon. Also, when saving seeds from things like apples or pears, you may not be able to get that to work right away, and it does have to go through a cold cycle.
Seeds go through cold cycles, and some have to go through hot cycles, but that's really secondary to the saving the seeds of the plants that you've grown in your garden. For more information about seed saving, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.
That's for the health-conscious organic gardener worldwide. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right. Thank you, Joey and Holly. We will talk to you next week. All right, remember, if you want to join the conversation tonight or maybe have a question or comment for any of us here, just head on over to TalkShoe.com and search for show ID 82757. That takes you right to our main show page. Once you're there, just click on the large Join Now button, and you'll sign in as a guest or create a free account. And then that will take you to our chat room where you can listen in and type your questions and comments at the bottom of the page. Or you'll find our phone number and show ID there as well. Now, to call in, the phone number is 1-724-444-7444, and you're going to enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound sign. Some of you may have to call in more than once due to the heavy traffic, and we apologize in advance. Keep on trying, and we hope to talk with you soon. You can always text your questions or comments to us at 734-788-9319. We're also doing a video recording of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that video will be available later on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/community chat show. All right, let's get to our updates with David, and we'll do like a roundtable discussion. All right, how's that sound? Good? All
Sounds
right.
good.
So what do you got for us, sir?
Well, you can take your pick. We can talk, if you want to talk politics, we're going to talk a little bit about the governor's race and what's changing.
Yeah, I saw
there.
I saw the polls there.
We can talk a little bit about road funding. I wouldn't get my hopes
That
up.
was on the list.
We can talk about some education funding things that we're working on right now. We could talk a little bit about the transition that I'm working on right now for next year, transition to the Senate and transitioning Julie Plawecki, who's going to be Garden City's next state rep.
Right.
So, I mean, take your pick, or any variation thereof.
Well, what do you think, Mike? Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the roads.
Yeah.
Roads.
Yeah.
The more and more time ticks by, the pricier this gets, right?
Absolutely.
And you know, what started off as a $1.5 billion dollar problem has grown to a 1.8 and now just north of $2 billion problem. And, you know, I was speaking with some folks off the record, I guess you could say, the other day from the majority party and asking them what they would expect to happen when we return to the legislature. Now, we did have 2 session days recently, but beginning September 9th, after Labor Day, we're going to be in session for the entire month of September.
Birthday.
There you have it. Entire month of September, most of October, and then we'll pick up in lame duck after the November election. And neither of these individuals were confident that they were going to be able to piece together any sort of road funding package whatsoever. And, you know, part of it, again, is, you know, we have a majority party that is in control of absolutely every, you know, piece of state government. They don't need us poor Democrats for much of anything.
Tough nut to crack.
And so, yeah, there's some nuances within the party right now that we're seeing sort of come to fruition, you know, with the Tea Party being a big factor in that. You know, so anything dealing with taxes or fees or changing the way we structure things, adamant opposition. So if he's tried to go into a different direction, we should change this or change that or change how we tax this, tax that, the opposition's there as well, which is, mind-boggling to me.
Mm-hmm.
The House, of course, to our credit, prior to the summer recess, passed a number of bills dealing with the road funding piece. And just for a quick overview, bringing diesel taxes into parity with gasoline taxes, changing it from the point of sale to the wholesale level, increasing the truck fines or the truck weight, or pardon me, increasing the fees, lowering the truck weight limits, and a number of other bills that we thought would be, if not the answer, a significant step in the right direction. One of them, my favorite bill, dealt with the warranties on the road, saying that if you're building a road that's supposed to last 25 years,
right,
and 5 years down the road this thing's falling to pieces, it's not on us to fund that construction anymore. You gave us a bad product.
Right.
You need to
warranty it.
And so I think that speaks to what you hear a lot from folks dealing with, the chemical composition of the concrete itself. You got a lot of people here and are thinking or saying, and it's really hard to get a straight answer on it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we using the right materials? Are we using the most stable materials? If we're putting this warranty piece on there that says that you had better be giving us a good product, or you're going to be on the hook to pay for it next time. I think that addresses that question in a pretty significant way.
Right.
We sent all these bills over to the Senate. Every single bill, one after the other, after the other, after the other, was voted down.
So what are they countering with? Are
Absolutely
they
nothing.
Anything? Nothing? They have not kicked anything around.
Absolutely nothing.
Not even the 1% sales tax raise?
Oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
I hope not.
I know I'm filling in for the commissioner tonight, so I will tell you he is adamantly opposed.
Oh, I know he is.
As am I.
But that has been kicked around.
Yeah, it has. It has. And so, one by one voted down, and Senator Anderson will tell you. In fact, I was there. The House had gotten out of session that day at about, I think, 4 or 5 o'clock. The Senate went into session at 2 o'clock in the morning, and because it was such a late day in Lansing, I ended up staying that evening and was in the gallery when the Senate was working on this stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Couldn't piece together a plan that was palatable for enough people. And, the Republican, this is, right, wrong, or indifferent, and as frustrating as it can be, you really get to see, sort of a behind-the-scenes look at the legislature and how it operates, because, the Republicans themselves, who maintain a supermajority in the Senate, could not get enough votes to get this thing passed. And so they come to the Democrats and say, we need your help. And the Democrats say, well, we're happy to help, but before you talk about changing any fees or any fines or any of this or any of that, we need to talk about tax relief for middle-class families.
Right.
Let's talk about this pension tax. Let's talk about, and there's a number of things that Democrats said. If you talk about this, if we can work on this, let's put together a bipartisan solution. Let's put together a plan that works for everybody. Take care of the roads, take care of the people. Yep. And we're happy to support it. And the Republicans said no. And you know this, on the show and in the district, I try not to be overtly partisan about things because I try not to be, personally that way and professionally that way.
But you got to tell it like it is.
But sometimes
really?
it comes down to it.
And it's frustrating.
And to be fair, if Democrats were in the majority party, I'm sure there'd be just as many frustrations, to be fair.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
Right?
Don't you think, Mike?
Well, yeah, but the biggest problem that's at the root of all this, of course, is the gerrymandering of the districts every 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
The district line should be drawn in such a weird way to guarantee one party having a majority in that one and the other party having a majority in another one.
That is big, yeah.
The
a bipartisan commission in charge of that would be the logical way to do it.
Exactly.
But the party that's in control at the time of the redistricting is not certainly interested in making
right.
changes.
And you see that at the federal level, you see it at our level. Not to digress too much onto that point, but it is a good topic. I really think it's a good topic.
Yeah.
We've got 110 representatives in Michigan and 38 senators. Of the 110 representatives, I think only 10 of the seats are what you would call competitive. My House seat was drawn in such a way, and you know this, all of Garden City, all of Inkster, 2 square miles of Westland, 1 square mile of Livonia, and Dearborn Heights, everything south of Ford Road, west of Charlesworth, north of Warren, and east of Telegraph. They're drawn in such a way that so overwhelmingly one party or the other. The primary is the only race.
That's true.
The primary is the only race.
Yep.
And to Mike's point, when you're drawing districts in a way that specifically benefits one party or the other, I'm sure, the folks that are in these hardcore Democratic seats like myself,
Who draws up those districts?
whichever party is in the majority after or during the time of census
Really?
is the party that draws the lines. And for the last 2 decades,
that isn't fair at all.
in 2010 and 2000, Republicans have been in the majority, or were in the majority in Michigan, and they drew the lines.
Wow.
And I agree with Mike 110%. It
Oh, I
shouldn't
do
be
too.
the Republican Party, and I say it again, it should not be the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Nonpartisan, bipartisan, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
Redistricting Commission.
Yeah.
Keep the lines simple. Keep the lines straight. I've got friends down in Arizona who are state reps. The way they draw their Senate and House districts, the Senate district, use Michigan for example, 90,000 people in a House district, 270,000 people in a Senate district. So you can fit 3 House districts in a Senate seat. Draw the Senate seat, and then within that 270,000, cut up the 90. So you get 3 House members to every 1 Senate member. Okay. Everybody can work with one another easily. Everyone can be on the same page. Now, and I'm fortunate enough to win the election in November. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 state representatives to work with. As a member of the Senate, and the folks in these other states, so simple, so easy. You follow straight lines and you cut them. I think I've shown you the picture. I wish we could show the folks at home. I've got a friend of mine. She represents East Grand Rapids. If you started at the southern portion of her district and drove straight up, you would go in and out of her district 14 times. Because the district is drawn so squiggly to pick up this street, to pick up that street,
That's
and
ridiculous.
to sort of bring us back to where we started. A lot of the bipartisan or the lack of bipartisanship that you'll see, or the extreme left and extreme right that you see getting elected to office, is because the districts are drawn in such a way that whoever's the most liberal or whoever's the most conservative is the one that comes out of the primary, and whoever wins the primary.
Now, what
wins
would
the
it
seat.
take to change that? An amendment or?
Yeah. It would have had to be a constitutional amendment, which I think the citizens of Michigan would overwhelmingly support.
Absolutely.
I mean, no question.
They'd be crazy not to.
Right. And so it is difficult.
Something to think
because-
about.
Yeah. And so that's why you see. And I don't think the extremes are good, again, either way.
No, you're right.
With the advent of term limits and with this terrible redistricting process, you've seen the middle fall out of politics right now. And, with that, you see a loss of opportunity for people to work with one another and collaborate and actually get stuff done.
Yeah,
Nothing gets
it
done
is.
on the fringe. Everything gets done
It's a shame.
in the middle.
Really is.
So
with regards to the roads, doesn't look like anything. No movement's going to be done on that.
and I'm just trying to be
after the
forthright
election,
with.
way
Yeah,
down the
I mean
road.
that is what was shared with me that folks in the majority party are not hopeful about a solution coming to fruition. But again, never say never, because crazy things like to happen in lame duck.
True. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Something could pop at 2 a.m. in the
Well,
morning. You never know.
and especially if there's a swing in who the governor's going to be, or the number of senators or the number
that
of
could be
House
interesting.
members, because that's where you see the silliest stuff happen. If the House were to flip, and the November election, well, that's what people voted at that point in time. But those representatives don't take office until a month and a half later.
Yeah.
So the current party still has a month and a half to rule, even
Exactly.
though the residents have said they want something different. And so you ram
I
through.
bet you see a lot of crap done within that month and a half
Right
if
to
it
work,
happens.
Right to work was what happened during lame duck the last time.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And so if that were to happen, or if the gap were to close a little bit, it's
That could be disastrous.
silly season is what I call it.
Silly season, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little politics. You posted a poll with Shower looking pretty good.
The poll
looking better,
and again, admittedly within the margin of error, but it shows Mark Shower, the challenger this year, up 2 points on Governor Snyder. And the commentary that I'd offered was that, even though it's within the margin of error, it is very, very, very uncommon for an incumbent who has above a 50% approval rating to still not be able to break 50% in the polls. And then two, it's very uncommon for a challenger, a non-incumbent, to not just be close, but to be ahead heading into the Labor Day weekend. And so, for all intents and purposes, the race right now, and what I think the race is going to continue to be moving forward, it's going to be very, very, very close. And could go either way.
I'll be honest with you, I never guessed it would have been that close.
And a lot of people would say the same thing.
Really?
But there's so much money being thrown into this thing.
Right.
And so much negativity being thrown out by both sides that it's kind of hard to tell what's going to happen in the last couple of months, because the political ads might sway just enough people to make a big difference.
And really that's going to be it, because the Democrats are voting Democrat, the Republicans are voting Republican, no question.
And there's like 12% undecided.
It's those folks in the middle. Where are they going to go?
That's a lot. 12%.
And to Mike's point, and I've talked about money in politics before, I think for Mark Schauer, the challenger, I think $9 million in TV time has been reserved heading into the election.
Okay.
I know that on the U.S. Senate side, the Koch brothers have already spent $12 million. Already spent $12 million against Gary Peters. Mark Schauer, is never going to be able to raise the money that an incumbent governor raises. Snyder's got a pretty big war chest going in there, so it's going to be interesting.
Schauer can stand on that too, though.
Right.
Look at.
But it's those last weeks that count. I mean, even for my most recent race, 8 pieces of mail attacking me in the last 2 weeks from my opponents.
Well, with Bill Wild the last couple of weeks, he really pushed it. The media.
Oh yeah,
you saw his commercials in that, and he did good. He did a good showing. I think he did very well.
The sad state of things is that very, very few people pay attention.
Yeah.
And again, it's the Democrats that pay attention. They're voting Democrat.
You want what's fresh in their mind.
Right.
Right then.
Right. You want to be that last positive.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So what else did you have on that list? Yeah.
Hi, this is Jerry. I've got a question.
Jerry, how are you?
Regarding campaigning.
Yeah.
I am receiving tons of phone calls. The other day I was at my home for the first time in a long time, and I received 9 political phone calls in a matter of 6 hours.
Wow.
That's a lot. Those robocalls.
I question, after about the 4th or 5th one, it gets to be a tad on the annoying side.
Right.
I was wondering, a long time ago we put ourselves on a do not call list, but yet it's that list is not pertaining to political elections. Is that so that list doesn't?
And that is marketing. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, when
Jerry, to be forthright with you, I'm not 100% sure on the specifics of that. I'd have to do a little bit of research and get back to you.
It's a good question.
But one, I want to say I'm surprised, but I guess I'm not, that it was so many calls in such a short period of time. And again, the people that don't want to be bothered, I will say that, my campaign, obviously we do the personal phone calls to everybody, and probably more than once. Sometimes you call and you get that person and they say we don't want it. So, we personally take that off.
How many were live, Jerry, as opposed to recorded, do you know?
Probably about 7 of the 9 were pre-recorded. And I've also had my phone answering machine blowing up with one message after another another.
Wow.
And I just question, after about the 6th one, I was able to speak to a human, and I asked them, and they said that the list doesn't pertain to elections, and that there's a list out there that the political candidates pay for this service. To go ahead and get phone numbers of people that are in the area that they can contact.
Bottom line is money.
Right. I'm now the more that I think about it, I'm leaning to say that what the person has shared was true, because even the no soliciting, no handbill signs that people put on their doors, that does not apply to people running for office or elected officials either.
Is that right?
It does not. It does not. Now, I understand the fact that when someone puts that on their door, that they mean me too. And so,
that's how I would take it.
You're going to tick them off.
Right.
You tick them off. There's a vote down the toilet.
In fact, not to share too many secrets, but when we knock doors in a neighborhood, I write down which homes say that. And I send them a little letter saying, I know that you don't want to be bothered.
You respect the fact.
But I want you to know that I was coming by to say hi. So if you got any problems or concerns, just give me a jingle.
Yeah, that's very smart.
But, I know that does not legally apply to people running for office, even though you've got to understand what the residents' understanding is, and it applies to you. So get the heck out of here.
Maybe that should change.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, you know.
It wouldn't bother me either way, because again, we still make sure that we reach out to folks.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess based upon that, I'd be inclined to say that what the person shared with Jerry is correct. But just for my own personal, inquiry, I guess I'm going to look into that a little bit more.
Right.
Let me write that down.
They told me, they said, do you know how much our candidate paid for this? And your do not call list doesn't pertain to the candidates because they've put out so much money to pay for the service.
Well, I would not say that, how much money they paid or didn't pay would equate to whether or not it's lawful or not.
Yeah.
But first of all, this sounds like a really bad person making a phone call. Like they are not too politically savvy.
No, not at all.
So yeah, I'm writing this down right now because I'm gonna look into that. I'll get back to you, Jerry.
He will get back with you for sure. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jerry. Good question. We want to move on here. What else you got there? What else did we cover?
I got education funding. I got the transition from.
Yeah,
the
why
House
don't you
and
touch
Senate.
on those briefly, and then we'll move on to our other topics tonight.
Yeah, sure. The education one, real quick. When the way the budget process works, the governor gives his recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
The House passes their version. They can agree with the governor. They can say no, less money here, more money there, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
The Senate does the same thing. We have a conference committee that irons out the differences between the two of us. We send it to the governor. He signs it.
Mm-hmm.
Easier said than done. The governor, when he sent his proposal to the House this year, it included an $83 per pupil increase for students in public schools. Now, number one, I'll be straight with you and say that it's an election year.
Yeah.
He's increasing the money for public education. Now, what is slightly misleading about that, and what a lot of folks, there's a big debate about this right now.
It's a retirement
Bingo.
requirements that they've got a fund.
So
And that eats it all up.
Yep.
the retirement fund, the retirement system, rather, called MIPSers here in the state for our public employees, our teachers. The state will say we're going to give each student an $83 increase, but of that $83, $60 has to be used to cover the retirement liabilities. So really, you're only getting a $23 increase.
So a lot of hidden money.
Oh yeah, and so, but that's why you continue to see these debates between Snyder and Shower, where Shower says you've cut $2 billion from public education every year,
Right.
and Snyder says no, I've increased.
And the
$1
truth
billion.
is, he has cut because he's
No
taken.
question, he's cut it.
yeah.
And that is because you cannot simply look at something on its face value and believe it as fact. You've got to take that deeper dive. And so the governor asked for $83 minus the $60. Kids are getting $23 per kid increase. The House and Senate approved a $50 increase with a $60 liability, so each kid lost $10.
Oh my God.
And so, again, the governor's going to go out and say, I increased funding $50 per kid.
To make it
but
look
the
good.
people, you talk to Michelle
Election.
Klein, you talk to any superintendent, you talk to any teacher.
They'll tell you.
They'll tell you they lost the money. And so we just introduced a bill. I was one of the co-sponsors, and a number of my other colleagues the other week, that would have increased that back to the governor's numbers. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
we want what the governor wants. I mean, we got the Democrats saying we want what the governor wants.
Yeah.
And his own party this time to
But the full amount going to the student.
bingo. And it should be that way. And I will say this, and without digressing, there was a time when the MIPSers fund was fully funded, and it was at that time that Governor Engler went into the fund and tried to use it for some other things. And now we've got more unfunded liabilities, and the only people paying the price are the kids. So.
Yeah.
I will always
That's
be the
another-
first to say. I will always be the first to say that simply throwing money at a problem is not the answer. But when it comes to the education, we are asking teachers to do more and more and more with no resources.
And less and less.
No resources.
With less and less.
I was talking to my aunt the other day. You'll be proud to know. You met my little brother, Matt?
No,
You ever meet him?
I might have. I don't know.
Matt, I call him my little brother. He's about 100 pounds bigger than I am.
Okay.
He is a brand new math teacher at Melvindale High School. Just hired. He
really?
starts September 2nd.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're excited. My aunt is a 30-year teacher in Dearborn Public Schools. In 2014, she's making less money than what she did in 2003 because they keep cutting the salaries. They keep cutting. So she's in here busting her butt, making less
30
money.
some years.
35 to 40 kids in the classroom.
Oh my gosh.
35 to 40 kids.
Oh.
And so I could talk about education for
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
When I was on
Go ahead,
the,
Mike.
when I was on the school board, I had the philosophy: you've got to do as much as you possibly can for these kids because they get one chance to get an education. You can't make it up for them 5 years later.
Yeah.
It doesn't do any good.
Right.
When they're going through,
You gotta get
gotta
'em
give
early.
the best possibility education they can get.
and Carrie just hit the nail on the head. Get them early. That's why we're increasing this early childhood funding.
Yep.
You'd be surprised how many people are opposed to that. They think it destroys the family unit.
Oh, it's
By
crazy.
a child
They just
getting
don't
into the,
understand.
a learning setting, a classroom earlier, they're saying takes away from the family. Which, I mean,
Well, they have their opinions, but
yeah, I respect everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone's allowed to have one. And then last but not least,
Even the people that are wrong.
right. It's like I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
And the other piece, and again, everybody knows who I was supporting to take my spot in the House.
Right.
He didn't win. So I picked up the phone the day after the election. I called Julie Plawecki. She won the primary. I bet my bottom dollar she wins the general. I said, Julie, hey, there's no beating around the bush. I didn't support you, but now we're on the same team. We're going to put it behind us. We're going to move forward.
She may have a little competition in the general, but
Nope.
I
Nope.
mean,
now I like Mr.
not-
Rhodes. I will say that.
yeah, I mean, he's.
I like, but
Yeah,
it's a 72% Democratic.
Oh
seat.
yeah, I mean, she's a shoe-in, but I
Right.
mean, he will be there.
Oh yeah. He's number one.
It's
a
not gonna
great
be
guy.
close,
A
but-
great guy.
Oh, I've
a
met him,
Great
yeah.
guy.
I have
He's
met
ahead
him.
of the Abate, the motorcycle riders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I called her. I said, we're on the same team now. We're going to work together, and she was ecstatic about that. So, I told her, and I make no bones about this either. The gentleman who I replaced, majority, I took a little bit of LeBlanc, but he's good.
Yeah.
The gentleman I replaced did absolutely nothing to help me transition. He had 6 years of experience,
I agree.
and just said, you know what, forget about it. I'm not doing anything to help. I don't want Julie to have that same experience. And if I'm fortunate enough to win that Senate seat, picking up Redford, Northwest Detroit, there are new reps in those areas who are going to be new as well.
Yep.
So we've been talking to everybody. We're going to bring them up starting in September. So we're September, October, November, December to do a healthy transition, get to know the systems, the residents, the points of contact, who to
so
talk
they're
to.
not going in blind.
Bingo.
That'd be great.
So, I mean, from day one, they're picking up and
Well, we
running.
told
So-
Julie, didn't we, when she was here on the show, that she's got some big shoes to fill.
Oh, I like that.
And she admitted that she does. But and I hope to see her as much as we saw you here in this community.
That's going to be a key. She's got to be present in the various communities.
Available,
as much
yeah.
as possible.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because that's one of the things that's got you such a wide base of support was just
Right.
the 2 years where we said, geez, when there's something important happening, David's there.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, so I mean, and you can take that back to her. I mean, we told her the same thing, but I hope she doesn't
I
let
would
us
say,
down.
don't question me. Carrie Parton said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mike
I told her
Jones
she's
told
welcome
me.
back anytime, just like you and anybody else.
Well,
that
and
wanna
that's
come
it.
in.
I'm going to tell her, this is,
I
this
think
is
that-
what it was before I came into office. I don't think I'm perfect, but I think I've tried to step it up a little bit. And I'm saying these are what the expectations are now. And more than that, people recognize it and they support you.
And I'm not bragging, but this is a great platform for her. If she
Right.
wants to come on and get the word out there like you have.
Right.
I mean, people do listen.
You're bragging. You're bragging.
I have people really. They come up and they say, I heard Knezek say this or Mike say that, and it is. It's a good platform for her, and I hope she uses it.
And again, it's just another opportunity to reach out to folks because not everybody can, get out to this place or that place, but
Right.
they can sit down, they can tune in, and they can
Yeah.
listen. So,
Yeah.
we've been working with her on that, and there's some other folks in the area or organizations I've been,
Will she
lining
continue
up.
the coffee hours with LeBlanc?
I
Mention it?
to be blunt, it is not really an option as far as I'm concerned. It is
Good.
my expectation.
Okay, good.
That
I
her
would think
and
so.
me and LeBlanc will all have
Oh,
coffee
yeah,
hours
that's
together.
right.
Yeah,
I
coffee
forgot
hours
about you.
together. Yeah, you're not getting rid of me. Yeah.
No, we don't want to. We don't want to.
So
Awesome.
and so again, I want to make sure that I'm sharing the coffee hours with Julie in Dearborn
Mm-hmm.
Heights and Garden City and Inkster. LeBlanc is going to be with us in Garden City and Inkster. Diane Webb in Dearborn Heights. Redford, we've got a brand new lady, lovely. Well, her name is Leslie Love.
No way.
Yeah, Leslie Love.
How appropriate.
Yeah, and she's a lovely lady, and
Spread
so
the love.
right. So we're gonna do the same thing up there, and
Cool.
and It's just basic stuff. We want to have a healthy transition.
It's a way to get out, and reach the people, man.
That's right.
Make yourself available, like they said. And then what was the last thing?
That was it.
Okay.
That was it. Let it fly.
All right. Now we're going to let it fly.
Let it
and
fly.
I know Jerry has been waiting patiently, but I did want to bring this up about Garden City Hospital, as you know, was sold to Prime Healthcare. And from what I understand, they were going to keep most of the 1,000 employees.
Most.
But now I heard from a good source that they've gotten rid of at least 50 people already, employees.
Mm-hmm. Do we know where the employees were from, departments or what have you, the ones that were
I don't know. Jerry, would you know anything about that or no?
We've had some friends who have had long histories with the facility. It doesn't seem like it's pretty much the hands-on. The nursing staff is fairly intact. It seems like it's people who were producing bills, statements, they've lost quite a few people in their pharmaceutical departments, quite a few people, it seems that in the business departments. We understand that during a period of time when an organization changes and it changes as radical as completely losing the administration and selling out something as big as a business as Garden City Hospital was for all these years, that there's going to be changes. I think nobody went into this realizing that there wasn't going to be changes.
Right.
I think.
But I didn't think it was going to be this soon. I and I know that other people have heard that they were not supposed to do anything for at least 5 years, is what I heard.
Well, I think that would be very hard to do because a hospital is a big business.
Yeah, I know.
The difference is that with the Garden City brand, it was a nonprofit organization.
It's profit, right.
They were a nonprofit, and they were a community-based, where I understand Prime Healthcare is a for-profit. They don't hide that. They make that.
And they'll be paying taxes now, too, as well in Garden City, so that's big. That's a big factor.
Yeah, and the hospital was in trouble.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt about it. It was either find somebody or close the doors.
Yeah.
That would have put a lot more people out to the street if
Yeah,
they would just
true.
close the doors to it.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the situation is that we're asking Prime to please do it. If they have to do the changes that they are so radically doing right now, do it with kind and compassion and realize that these people, this was their life for 20, 25, 30, 35 years.
Yeah.
And don't make the broom so sweeping that it causes problems with the community as well as their reputation.
I'll follow up with that, Jerry. And, Carrie had brought this to my attention when we sat down earlier today. I'll pick up the phone tomorrow, and I'll call the government relations guy out at Prime, and I'm going to say, this is what we're hearing on the ground. What numbers can you provide me as far as such and such? Yeah, I mean, what does it hurt to pick up the phone and relay the same things that he just said? We understand changes have to be made. Mm-hmm. We understand that there's going to be a lot of moving parts and what have you. But, this is a community hospital. Even though it's got a different owner now, everybody that works in that place, most of them are from our backyard here. And I shared with you, Carrie, earlier, my grandfather's been working there for 20 years now.
Yeah, I mean, we all have friends that work there and have been there for a long time.
I was there last week.
Yeah.
Cheryl
was there. They saved her life. I mean, I love Garden City.
Right. And so, and like Jerry said, we're not asking for a lot. We understand changes have to be made. Let's be judicious in how we proceed.
Right.
It's not a lot to ask.
Right. And I think a phone call would probably go a long way.
No problem.
Absolutely.
More things to write down.
All right, cool. But, I mean, they did agree to assume the pensions too, which is a good thing. They're going to put $35 million into
capital improvements.
Yeah, capital improvements. They say they want to continue the quality care, and that. I just hope they can still provide it with less people. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Jerry, anything else?
No, it's just we also, too, if you know somebody who's just recently lost their position, if there's any other businesses out there that has a door open, a position that might be filled in that, it wouldn't hurt possibly, if you do have a physician, to reach out to some of these people who, because at one point, I understand that we lost like 50% of the clerical department over in the school building, and I'm sure these are people who right now are looking at the unemployment situation doesn't seem to be working very well, trying to reach out to these people, and their bills come monthly. So I'm asking any other businesses out there too, if you are looking for some administrative and some other people who maybe have had a great work experience with this institution over 30, 35 years, to reach out to them and realize that there's a lot of people, probably, I'm not sure what the number is, I'm sure it's probably over 100 right now, that in the community are just, one, devastated that they've lost their position, two, with really no firm warning, no planning for this, and possibly no backup finances to, one, see what you can do about reaching out to these people. And if there's somebody out there looking for a job right now, and that to go looking in our own backyard, and hopefully some of the other businesses that may be looking for some help that's in our own neighborhood will reach out to them and possibly hire them.
Great point. Absolutely. We will do that too. We'll, promote that,
When you lose 100, when 100 people go out to the street in just a matter of about 2 or 3 weeks in our city, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, absolutely hurts. It really does. Yeah, we're a tight community. We hate to see our own suffer like that. That's for sure.
That's right.
Let's hope that they draw back on that broom, like you said, a little bit now, and start working on other things, right?
It'd be great. It would be really great.
And you'll do that phone call for us.
Yeah, I'll call him. I mean, when Prime was first coming in, we had to sit down with the Attorney General and some others, and we sat down with the president himself didn't come out, but it was their government relations guy.
Yeah.
So we got his contact information. We'll give him a jingle.
So you have a little dialogue there. You can.
Yeah, friendly dialogue.
Friendly dialogue.
Friendly but firm.
Friendly. Okay, so let's see. Moving on, I wanted to mention the Garden City Business Alliance that we created. GCBA. I'm very proud of that. Very, not just me, but Kelly Perkins from Guardian Martial Arts. We both got together. We've been kicking this around for a while, and our first meeting was awesome. We had like 35 business owners there. Jerry has been gracious to host the October 3rd meeting, right, Jerry?
Right, not a problem. We look forward to as many people to come as possible.
I'll be there.
And that'll be 6 p.m. We're going to have an evening one, so maybe we can get some other business owners in there. But we've already added, since our meeting, a few other businesses, so they're on board. But I think it's going to be a good thing. It was raised at the council meeting on Monday night, and I talked to Chief Murray and also the city manager. He's is the city manager, and he's very, very on board. Right. He says the council will be on board too. Trust him.
Will be.
Yeah, that's what he said. And so I invited him to the meeting at Jerry's and also the council. So, like Mike had mentioned at the meeting, council meeting Monday, they need to be more proactive. And I believe working together, we can move this business community forward.
And two, in the absence of a Chamber of Commerce right now, I mean, you guys know I love Garden City. I'm not from here, but I love this community, and this is just another reason why. There's no Chamber of Commerce, so the residents just say, all right, we'll do it our own. They pick up a couple phones, call a couple people, and before you know it, everybody's back talking again and trying to help.
And it truly is. It's going to be up to the businesses to really do this, and move it together. Don't you agree, Jerry? What do you think?
I do, and it has been needed. When we see even the little towns, I was just recently, I was down in Chester, West Virginia earlier this morning, and it's just a little town, 1,500 people, but they have a Chamber of Commerce there.
Wow.
And they only have a few stores and a couple little factories there, but it's a voluntary organization, and they're out there publicizing, showing where there's empty buildings and trying to fill them up, and trying to get the businesses together. And I figure if a little town like Chester, West Virginia, with a population of 1,500 people in it, can have a chamber and get themselves well known and try to promote themselves, I think somebody like Garden City could do it too.
We're a little bigger
Exactly.
up here. A little bigger.
Yeah. Just a little bigger.
A little bigger.
A little bigger.
West Virginia.
Hey, also I did want to mention that Rick Palmer, who is with Palmer Works, he happened to see our story in the Observer, the article, and he came forward and met with me and Kelly a couple weeks ago. And he was very impressed and wants to be part of the community and be involved. So he offered to do our website and domain and everything free of charge. And we now have
Thank you very much. How nice.
We now have a website. It's www.gardencitybusinessalliance.org. And or you can go to www.gcbiz48135.org. I thought that was kind of cool.
I like that. Biz.
gcbiz48135.org. And it's pretty cool. There's a submission form on there. If you want to add your business to the website, you can do that. Just fill it out. Your logo and everything will be on there, and it's just a great thing. Now, the next Alliance meeting will be held on at 9 a.m. Friday, September the 12th, and it's going to be at ServPro, which is at 38156 Executive Drive, south of Warren Road and east of Hicks in Westland. Now, it is in Westland. Moving forward, all meetings will be in Garden City, but they raised their hand. They wanted to host the event, and they service Garden City. So,
yeah. Okay.
So I didn't see anything wrong with that. But I have heard some.
We need to get like Villa Bakery to do it, and they can feed us all one night.
Hey, I like that.
I always think with my stomach.
So, yeah, and then the evening meeting, like I said, will be October 3rd at Party Animal Travel, 6561 Middle Belt Road in Garden City, and that's going to be a 6 p.m. start time. And then, listen to this, starting in November, the Straight Farmhouse has given us the Grand Parlor every month for a year free of charge.
Get out of here.
I swear to God.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
That is really nice.
I just thought that was fantastic.
I'm going to have to hurry up and buy that brick now.
Yeah. Get you a brick over there.
Right.
Absolutely. And the Straight Farmhouse is located at 6221 Merriman Road in Garden City, and the time for those are to be announced. We're going to try and do morning meetings, evening meetings, maybe alternate back and forth. So if any of these times or venues change, we will definitely notify you. And we're welcoming new members. Contact us through the website or just show up at our meetings with plenty of business cards, and you can join that way. So I thought that was just fantastic.
That is cool. That is very cool.
I couldn't be happier. Also, now I wanted to talk about reinventing Inkster. You happened to go to a council meeting. Was it Monday? You and Richard were both there, right?
So it actually wasn't a council meeting.
Or
it was
a special meeting, like?
No, it's just a gathering of local residents.
Cool.
Right, and so it's frustrating for some residents to attend meetings like this because they've happened so many times in the past.
I can understand. I can see
and
that.
it's a gathering that somebody decided to throw, and then there was no follow up. And then folks are left thinking, well, why the heck do I keep showing up to have my voice heard?
Yeah, they're defeated before they even start.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now this time is being done a little bit different, working with Michigan State University.
Yeah.
The Starfish Family Services has been one of the biggest partners in this. And if you don't know about Starfish, they're just a phenomenal agency in Inkster on Hively Street. Dealing with early childhood education and the kids in Inkster. And they actually just picked up a big federal grant to do it for 1,000 kids in the city of Detroit as well. They're that good.
Really?
And so they're a phenomenal partner in this. And just, folks sitting down saying that, you know what, Inkster's fallen on some hard times. What are some realistic goals that we can achieve, and how do we go about achieving them? And so there was a great presentation by some folks.
Do they have a chamber?
They do have a chamber of commerce.
Okay.
Inkster does have a chamber.
Okay.
And they do an annual mixer.
All right.
Hey, we might bring some Garden City folks down to say hi. But so they had this presentation. It was a nice presentation, and then there was an opportunity at different tables for folks to write down on one card, what you would like to see in and around or about Inkster in 10 years. And then there was a different color sticky note where you talked about what you think Inkster's current strengths are. Time and time again, the current strengths were the property that they have, vacant and otherwise.
They do have land.
There's a ton of land.
There is land available.
A ton of land in Inkster that's just waiting to be developed. There are a ton of homes available in Inkster that are just ripe for new home buyers and single families to move in the city. You know, a lot of communities are suffering, and Inkster is no different. And again, nothing against anybody, but with a lot of renters moving in and a lot of corporations or big timers buying up all these properties, they're not in the community. They're not invested in the community. The renters don't plan on making a life there. And so you see a lot of deterioration within the neighborhoods.
But realistically, David, their reputation, Inkster's reputation, is out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it definitely, the crime definitely is a
Right.
deterrent for businesses to move in and families to move in.
Right, right.
So that is where they really have to work on public safety, don't you think?
Well, and I don't
First,
disagree with that one bit. But, you know, and I say it time and time again when I'm campaigning around the neighborhood. A strong community is first and foremost a safe community.
Absolutely.
You know, you're not going to have, like you said, families that want to move in the area, businesses that want to move there, any of that.
It won't
until
develop.
you address that.
Right.
And I know some things are being done right now to address that problem in Inkster, whether it be with the county or the state police or what have you. But again, it needs to be a higher priority in the city before you can hope to have, you know, other things start moving in that
Now, was
direction.
Mayor Hampton in attendance?
Mayor Hampton was there.
Okay.
I was there. Commissioner LeBlanc was there. The current state senator for Inkster was not there. The city manager was there. A couple city council members were there, but not everybody. And so, you know, aside from the land and the people, because again, I'm telling you, Inkster and Garden City are very similar when it comes down to the people and their hearts and how much they want to see change affected in the community. Garden City has, I think, a different leadership mentality where you see that desire supported and encouraged more so than what I've seen in the city of Inkster, okay?
Garden City, there's people that want to take the lead. You know, they do want to take the lead.
Right.
I don't know. It's probably not that way in Garden City. There probably are some.
No, there absolutely are. But what I see more in Inkster than anything else is people taking each other out at the knees to try and prevent success from taking place, because that means that their personal fiefdom or their control is being taken away.
Okay.
You know, it's something that we're working on. But
This
again,
is my
it's a reality.
territory.
Right. And so, you know, the as far as the changes, you know, down the road,
Right.
you know, you'd be surprised. You know, there's no grocery store in the city of Inkster. There's nowhere for residents to go get groceries. Really? And a lot of people struggle with it. You know, there's like the small things like but there's no real grocery store in Inkster. The same way the city of Detroit.
I think that Kroger on Merriman in Michigan's probably the closest.
Probably the closest, yeah.
Yeah.
The same way Detroit, up until recently, did not have
Myers is in there now.
a major grocery store.
Foodland
either.
or something.
Yeah, so we've got that Myers. They've got a new one coming too. It's in my district.
Oh,
Future
okay.
district.
Really?
So I'm excited
That'd
about
be
it.
a ribbon cutting.
Right, but I digress. So, you know, that was one. And then two, you know, and the commissioner and I talk about this a lot. The main thoroughfare through Inkster is Michigan Avenue. It cuts the city perfectly in half. So we're talking about at that meeting, if I'm coming from wherever and I have to drive through Inkster, I'm going to drive through Inkster on Michigan Avenue.
Right.
What am I thinking? What am I taking with me? What is the experience that I'm feeling when I'm driving through Inkster at that point? There's a lot, again, property that is, you know, could be developed, should be developed.
Yeah.
Very few places to eat. They've got Gracie C's Pastaria, which actually has phenomenal pizza.
Yeah.
And so what they did, you know, with this this presentation, and it's something that I'm actually very passionate about, but it's kind of like one of those nerdy things, and not a lot of people are into it, is talking about placemaking and what you do to develop a community into something that person wants to, you know, live, work, and raise a family.
Okay.
Everything down to the sidewalks, bike lanes, how wide your easements are, how wide the road is, how many trees you have, how many streetlights you have.
Not having schools is an issue.
That's an issue.
For families.
That's an issue. And so what they had done was a couple mock-ups of small things that Inkster could do. Some were obviously requiring capital improvements, others requiring changes to zoning and what you can and can't do in different areas that make the big difference. And, you know, when you do, I mean, something as simple as adding streetlights and trees, providing shade, adding a bike lane, taking that massive expanse of Michigan Avenue, bringing it in a little bit. The same thing that I would personally like to see done going through Garden City.
Yes.
You know, getting the cars to slow down. You know, things as simple as adding, you know, brick pavers on the side of the road. You go to some other places in the country, when you're going into a town like that, you see these arrows that are painted on the road.
We just did that when we went to
Right.
Shipshewana. We took Michigan Avenue all the way there.
Right.
We went through all these little towns, Quincy and Clinton and all that, and approaching 45,
Right.
35, 30, 25.
Right. And it
I'd
feels
love
like
to
a
see
good
that.
community.
Oh.
And so you drive through, even Wayne, Michigan, you drive through Wayne, Michigan,
Yes,
Michigan Avenue.
exactly.
You say, man, there's probably some place here. I'd stop, I'd get out, I'd do this, what have you. And so, they're talking about those small things with Inkster and how you grow the population again, how you increase the tax base. There are challenges that lie ahead that I'm 100% confident if we've got willing participants at the city level, at the county level, at the state level, Inkster can be a completely different city in 10 years.
Okay.
In 10 years. I feel very confident about that.
Well, it sounds like a start anyway.
Right.
I mean,
And again, it's being
somebody
realistic
has to
with the
do it.
goals.
Take
It's
the
being
initiative.
realistic with the goals.
Yeah.
We're not, Garden City, Dearborn Heights, Inkster, we're not going to be a Canton or a Westland, in a
No.
period of years. But there's a lot of opportunity. And, how do we grow
they
upon
could-
that
they
in
could
a
thrive.
realistic
Yeah.
way? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have a property that could be developed. I mean, it's
It's so much commercial space that's available, and for the housing, my thing is, I think it's sort of like the in vogue thing right now when you're talking about like abandoned buildings. Well, let's get the money and let's tear them down. My thing is if it's salvageable, how do we save that house and get somebody into it? Because, I tell you what's very interesting in the city of Detroit right now, they're working on this plan. If you're in, say we're here at Catherine Street, and your next door neighbor's house is vacant, burned out, or what have you, the money comes in, they tear down the house,
right
they'll sell you the property for $100. That's what they're doing right now.
to develop it.
You can just have it
So you got a bigger lot.
because you're the
Oh,
one.
okay, I got you, I
Because
got
you're
you.
the one taking care of it now.
Right.
Hey, they're getting $100
Yeah.
off it. It's not what they could get off it, but they're cutting down on the blight.
Yes.
They're cutting down on the
Yes.
crime. They're
Yes.
cutting down on the squatters.
Keep it
It's
maintained. Right.
I mean, for a number of reasons, I love it. The most being that it's not all about the money. It's about strengthening the community at that point.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the type of stuff that works.
Yeah, that is.
And time again, we've got Inkster residents that they want this house. They want this property. The city owns it. The city won't give it up. What the heck do you need it for?
Yeah.
Get rid of it. You've got somebody who wants to make this into a beautiful space and to
Right.
maintain the space.
Pay taxes
Give
on
it to bingo.
Oh my God.
Bingo.
Come
Give
on.
it. Give
Revenue,
it to 'em.
dude.
Give it to them. So, and again, there's a lot of good folks in Inkster right now who really care and they want to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping, with the folks that we've brought together through Reinvent Inkster, that this is going to be the big step forward.
Now,
Working
how
with
often
Michigan
will
State
they meet? Are
University.
they going to meet again, or was it how was it left?
Reinvent Inkster has been meeting for about a year now, doing some back
have?
doing some back
Never heard
planning.
nothing about it.
Yeah, very just sort of early phase planning stages, and then it was into the community engagement piece, which has been ongoing for a couple months now, and is coming to a close now. That was the last meeting that we were doing there with the
Okay.
residents. And then it turns into that action item piece. We've
okay.
quantified the data, we've quantified the ideas, the wants, the goals.
Now act on it.
Now let's act on them. And that is where, one, I'm excited about it because we're going to be pulling in, Julie, me, Commissioner LeBlanc, the mayor, the council.
Yeah.
Quit jerking us around. Let's get it
A lot
done.
of good ideas there.
We got a new police chief in Inkster.
Oh, they did get?
They got a female police chief.
Really?
She's tough as nails, man.
Awesome.
Do not cross her.
Awesome.
And obviously they're doing the shared fire thing, or shared chief with Westland Fire Department.
Well, that's the thing too. All the city leaders have to be on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
For one common goal. Let's move this city forward.
Well, and one of the things that I've
Clean
been
it up.
advocating for a while now is changing the charter. Getting
Yeah.
rid of that
Yeah.
ward system where you're only elected to serve these 7,000 residents. Because again, when
they
you-
have wards?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So imagine a city the size of Garden City getting chopped up into 7 pieces.
No way.
Right.
Oh my God.
And so you only get to in Garden City's case, say it's chopped into 6 pieces. You're really only carrying about 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Out of 27,000. So as long as you keep these 4,000 happy, as an elected official, hey, you get to come back.
Oh, that has to
Citywide.
change.
Now, I will say in the city of Detroit, a city of that size,
Yeah.
the ward system works.
Yeah.
Because it ensures that populations that aren't represented.
Louisiana, New Orleans have
Yep.
that.
Yep.
wards.
If you look at the old Detroit City Council,
Yeah.
where they were all lived,
Yeah.
all downtown.
Uh-huh.
Nobody from the neighborhoods. That's different now. That's different now. And so, in Garden City, citywide works, and Inkster, citywide would work. And so I'd like to see that change to the charter here soon.
I think that would be a
so
good
that we
idea.
can get, because, say you've got 10 phenomenal candidates, and they all live within a couple blocks of each other, it ain't happening. You're shutting out a lot of quality, candidates and elected officials in the process.
And you're ignoring some sections completely.
Exactly. And so again, I'm telling you, Kerry, I know so many good folks in Inkster that, given the opportunity to lead, given the opportunity to serve in elected capacity or what have you, they kick some serious butt because they're tired of it.
Don't you think when they lost their school districts over there, that really
a shot
took
to the
wind
gut.
out of them?
Oh,
really
yeah.
did. Really kicked them in the gut.
Yeah. Well, for Inkster, the schools, with all the things that the city is going through right now, the schools were like that last cornerstone, and people say this or say that. Look at the numbers. Inkster had higher graduation rates than some of the districts that they were dissolved into. They had more kids getting scholarships and all this other stuff. Really, the Inkster schools are known for producing, 1, good academic students, and 2, good athletic students. And when
Gardner?
Devin Gardner being one of them,
there
right?
you go.
And so, when the schools were dissolved, really, what a shot to the gut.
What a blow, yeah.
Because it is.
That's just something you don't hear of it. It's just
it never
unheard
happened.
of.
It was the first time it ever happened.
Yeah.
First time it ever
that's just
happened.
Incomprehensible.
Inkster and Buena Vista schools. And so, I'll avoid that conversation because I could talk about that for 2 hours.
Oh, I
too.
know.
But, there's no question. Oh, it's 9:05.
It's a hot topic.
Yeah, it is a hot topic. We
Okay,
like it.
one other thing I just wanted to mention was Glenn Anderson trying to get the fireworks repeal that.
I saw that.
Awesome.
I don't disagree with
Garden
that one
City's on
bit.
board with that.
Honest to God. There were easily hundreds of calls.
It's like the roads.
Yeah.
It's very popular to make this change.
That is a hot topic.
Yeah.
Just like the roads. So what has to be done now? Where are we at with that,
Glenn has introduced it, Senator Anderson has introduced it in the Senate. I know that 2 representatives, Andy Shore and Diane Slavens, introduced a House version when the summer recess was taking place. I'd be curious to see if either one of those bills are given a hearing because, again, some folks are going to come at it from the revenue perspective. Yeah. I know everybody else is saying, screw the revenue. I'm sick of being woken up at 4 o'clock. Nah, it wasn't that much.
Really?
And some of that money was earmarked for, fire departments and safety.
Oh, and here's a
and stuff
question
like
for
that.
you, and I know Cheryl would have asked you this if she was here. We drove by the VFW hall on Wayne Road and Avondale, the big one there.
Right.
On their marquee, they were doing a fundraiser, and they were selling fireworks. What is up with that? I would like someone to check into that. We drove by and saw that, and I said, are you kidding me? And how can you be selling them now? You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was supposed to be a season.
Fundraiser or not. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if it's sparklers, right? That's a no-no.
Right. There's still a lot of places I'm seeing, too, in storefronts that are open and selling. The law says that you can't be shooting them off except for a day before, a day after, day of a holiday.
Well, if they're in there buying them, you know damn well.
Oh, yeah, they're going home to shoot them
I
off.
still hear them.
I was knocking doors in August and July, and getting fireworks shot at me, like Roman candles and stuff.
Yeah. Come on.
It is obnoxious.
So, that would be interesting to check into that. I was going to ask Richard about that, too. Because I think
anybody owns a dog.
Oh, well, we do.
Veterans, animal lovers,
Veterans.
Young families, they all hate it.
That was surprising to me, being the VFW hall, that they are selling fireworks.
Right.
How oxymoron is that?
Right.
So,
interesting. That issue, I know folks said that they thought it was the right thing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
we make mistakes.
Yeah.
Well,
now if I'm not mistaken,
they rushed into that.
even Commissioner LeBlanc says, of all the votes he's taken, I think he might have disagreed. That might be the only one that he wishes he hadn't voted on. I think that might be it.
Really?
Because the original bill was, before I had gotten up there, we had voted on a tweak to that bill. I remember
tweak
that.
needed a lot of tweaking.
Yeah. The easiest tweak is just erase it.
Well, we were seeing tents selling them on Ford Road in Garden City
That's dangerous.
7 or 8 days after the 4th,
That's dangerous.
the holiday. So,
Probably for half the price, too.
you know,
Yeah, well, they're just trying to get rid of their inventory.
Right,
yeah, they were half price.
right,
But I mean, come on, somebody had to be on top of that.
right.
So, all right, Mike, what do you got? Anything you want? Any comments you want to throw out there? Any topic?
No, I've been participating on the topics that we've talked about.
We discussed a lot.
Yeah. We've got a couple announcements from Kiwanis.
Yeah, why we have Jerry on the phone? Why don't you ask him about that?
Okay, well, one is Kiwanis is sponsoring a Motor City Casino trip on Wednesday, September 24th through Party Animal Travel.
Jerry, is that full, or are we still good on that? Jerry? Jerry might have nodded off.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's filled up the first bus or not.
Yeah, I
but
don't
he
know.
talked about if it, he might even take a second bus if there was enough interest.
Yeah.
It's essentially you pay $30 to ride the bus down there. It's going to start from Garden City Kmart at 8:15, and it's going to leave Motor City Casino at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and bring you back to Garden City. But you also get $30 of slot pay money.
Right, so it's like free.
So it's essentially giving you $30 of slot pay
Getting your money back.
for free.
Yep.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a picture of this, and we're going to deliver some donuts for the seniors before they head off to the trip.
Hey,
I think that's a good idea.
they like that?
Fresh.
So
Fresh.
we got that. Plus
It's a fresh idea.
another thing that we've got going is
On that beautiful phone.
yeah, the Resource Center at Maplewood
Yeah.
sponsors baby baskets for newborn mothers.
Right.
Mothers with newborn kids. And they give them baby supplies and toys and
Yeah,
so forth,
diapers,
as
et
well
cetera.
as a lot of information that might be helpful to a new mother about where they can go to get this done and where they can do this and that sort of stuff. And they were getting a little low on their supplies. They needed more diapers, they needed more onesies, they needed more toys and so forth. So the Garden City Kiwanis is sponsoring a baby shower among our members to try to help
Teams?
build up their inventory. And we've divided the club into 2 teams, a pink team and a blue team, with President Julie in charge of the pink team and President-elect Monica Fulton in charge of the blue team.
Right.
So the blue team does have a female in charge.
Right. And blue team, you can drop things off at Maplewood, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, you can drop things off at Maplewood, and we're going
Little plug for Monica there.
to make our final collection
Go blue.
at the Thursday, September 18th Kiwanis meeting.
Okay.
At Amateas. And so that was, at that meeting, whichever side wins, they will be able to consume their beverage at lunch in the normal fashion, and whichever side loses, I guess, is going to have to drink that out of a baby bottle or a sippy cup or something like that.
Weird.
Photos.
Yeah.
Photos.
Tag me on
That'd be
Facebook.
cool. That'd be cool. Hey, also one other thing that Kiwanis is doing is the bricks. They're going to be doing the bricks at the Straight Farmhouse.
Right,
Which is awesome.
We made an agreement to do, in fact, a whole pathway essentially
Memorial.
of bricks, which will memorize past Kiwanians who were members in good standing and have died.
That's awesome. That's a cool thing.
And that was motivated when past President Gary Simon
Yeah.
passed away. because
I
he
still
was-
can't
he
believe
was-
that.
I can't either.
He was so involved with so many things, including the Historical Society, and this was just one way that we thought, hey, they have a fundraiser, we could sort of permanentize Gary's memory, and while we're at it, why don't we take care of some of these other members who've passed away?
Right, exactly. Yeah, what a way to honor him, eh? That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, I like that.
We're also going to be involved in the chili cook-off, I'm sure.
Oh,
Gary-
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be involved in that, I know. Gary Simon's son, I believe, had text Cheryl, put a text out about videos. If there's any videos of their dad, they would like to have those. I know none. I mean, everything was pictures, but if anybody does have any videos of Gary Simon out there, please contact us, and we'll put you in touch with their son.
Yeah.
Yeah, chili cook-off coming for sure. And then you got something.
Yes.
And that's when the the next edition of the Garden City Garden Club calendar.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, yes.
Will be
Yes, and the price
available
hasn't
for-
changed. It's staying $12. So you can order them now. Go to their website at gcgcmi.weebly.com.
I will share briefly that at my election night party, word traveled very quickly that man with the white hair in the corner has a half-naked photo.
October coming up.
And
He's Mr. October.
I now have a picture of Mr. LeBlanc on my phone that I share with my friends whenever they want to see it. It is too cool.
We
It is
actually,
too cool.
Cheryl had some pictures. Had about 10 of them made.
Yeah, you have to have a great sense of humor, and I got to
Yeah.
give credit to Richard to be
Oh,
willing to do
absolutely.
something.
Oh, yeah.
And, he loves it, though. He loves
I think I
doing
got
that
him a
stuff.
few votes.
Oh, absolutely.
The ladies were
Absolutely.
impressed.
Yeah.
Maybe the men were impressed. I support it.
I guess that's probably why he's not doing this calendar this year.
Yeah, he's not up for
Yeah,
election.
disappointed.
Son
But
of
they do have a couple of guys in there, so.
Are you one of them?
No.
No secret appearances?
No
Bob
secret.
Neary?
No guest
Randy
appearance.
Walker?
No, hell no.
Okay, so my announcement. I would like for everyone to put on their calendars November 8th of this year. This is Commissioner LeBlanc's Make a Senior Smile Day here in Garden City.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We are going to be doing this. I think this is his second year in a row that the commission's been holding this event here in Garden City. 8 a.m. to noon. We are going to meet at the Maplewood Center. Would like to encourage everybody to bring their own rake, but I know there's going to be other materials there for folks. Yeah. Going across the city, raking the leaves for the senior citizens who can't get out there and do it themselves. The turnout last year was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
What do you think? There's probably about 100 people there that showed up.
At least.
I mean,
and
a
Lowe's,
lot.
Lowe's had a crew there, donated all the bags, rakes,
Right.
some of
And
the
I
rakes.
remember I was knocking. See, it's still in my head. I was raking with Pat Squires and her grandkids.
Yeah.
I mean,
We were out passing water and
Right.
taking pictures. We were
Right.
photographers. Yeah. A great day, beautiful weather.
it
too.
was. Yeah, I honestly,
We're hoping for the same, Doppler.
I told Pat after that when I said, those attachments you can get in your lawnmower where you just sort of roll it over and it sucks up.
Oh,
the
yeah,
leaves
yeah,
and
yeah.
what-
We have a long vacuum.
Yeah. I said I'm cheating.
Which is specifically for that purpose.
Okay.
I said I'm cheating. I'm buying the lawn. I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah, there
I
you
just
go.
want to say I did the most lawns. That's all.
It's,
Well, I think they.
and it's pretty good because Faye and I are no spring chickens anymore.
Right. Yeah. Neither am I.
72 years old, 76-year-old. I'm thinking of putting my name in for Make a Senior Smile Day.
Absolutely,
We'll
man.
come do it for you.
Yeah.
We'll come do it
They'll
for
do
you.
it. They'll do it.
That is too funny.
But yeah, they're still looking for volunteers. I know.
Always need volunteers. Want to encourage everybody again. If you want to help out or tell your friends, bring a little crew. November 8th, 8 a.m. to noon. We're meeting at the Maplewood Center. Would love to see you out there.
Well, and there's also going to be a sort of a little kickoff continental breakfast.
Yep, continental
pizza
breakfast.
lunch afterwards.
Oh yeah,
something like
that was
Pizza.
good pizza too.
And I want people to know that Richard pays for that out of his pocket. So
That's right.
any monetary money you want to donate to him, he'd gladly take it to donate. I think Lisa Hicks Clayton has donated $60. He said.
Oh, nice.
So
Very
that's
nice.
nice. So the phone number there, if you want to read it at the bottom.
Yes. If you want to volunteer or
Or
if you have
donate.
any questions or you want to donate, the number is 313-224-8855. The email is district12, that's district12 at waynecounty.com. To volunteer, to
Awesome.
donate, or if you got any questions, give them a call. 313-224-8855, district12 at waynecounty.com.
And
To
it's
give
a fun time.
To give proper credit, this was originally started by former Commissioner Diane Webb.
Yes,
And
correct.
when her district changed and Richard became our commissioner, he generously picked it up
Yeah.
Right.
to keep the tradition going.
Commissioner
Awesome.
Webb even showed up last year.
Yes,
Yeah,
she did.
yeah.
Yep.
She's still
I'm
very
sure she'll
loved
be
in
there.
Garden
I'm
City.
sure.
Yeah, still very loved in
She
Garden City.
loves Garden City too.
Oh, born and raised here.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and everybody get a T-shirt too.
Yes.
Who participates.
I think it's putting your face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's all I got.
All
That's
right,
I got.
sounds good. Let me just mention real quick. I told Mike Lawrence I would mention the outdoor flea market
Hey, Mike.
at the Straight Farmhouse, which is located at 6221 Merriman Road. That's just that's on Merriman between Ford and Warren. They have their outdoor flea market, and September is going to be their last month, folks. So you're going to want to get out there. The next one's September 13th and September 20th. It's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Setups begin at 8 a.m. It's only $15 for a 10 by 10 space. If it rains, it'll be canceled. So no reservations in advance. So get a hold of the Straight Farmhouse. And also, we mentioned the bricks. If you want to get you a brick over there, you'll want to contact them, and they have all the information for that. Also, the next City Council meeting is Monday, September the 8th at 7 p.m. at City Hall, 6000 Middlebelt Road. The council urges all residents to attend. Remember, our shows are always recorded, and you can find them on our main show page over on TalkShoe.com. Search for show ID 82757, and all 214 shows will be over there.
Cheryl's here.
Cheryl's here.
You look beautiful, Cheryl. Sorry to cut you off, Carrie.
Wow, that's painted on there. Cool. Yeah, look in the camera.
Go step in front of the camera. It makes your eyes really pop, honestly.
Yeah, it really looks nice.
How cute.
Wow. So you happy with this one? Okay, cool. So anyway, you can go over there and check out all them shows for your convenience. And then, as always, we will upload our latest show when it's made available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat. And for those of you that would like to put a face with a voice, we are videotaping tonight's show, and that can be found on our YouTube channel at Community Chat Show once it's made available. YouTube/Community Chat Show. So no matter what?
This is Miss February that just came in?
Yes, Miss February, right there on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. I believe you are. Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, we got you.
Smile.
That's supposed to be previews before.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're tipping them off. So, look, no matter what, we have you covered, and you won't miss a thing. And we thank you all for listening and your support. Okay, next week, the 4th of September, will be our last show. Don't worry, for 2 weeks.
Forever.
We will be on vacation. We're going to take a little break, and we will be back on September 25th to do that show right here on TalkShoe.com at 8 p.m. Right there? Yeah. 25th, I'll be here? Yes, you'll be back. All right. Now, for sometime in late September, I've been talking with Mr. Tim Fredenberg. He is a member of the GC Business Alliance, and he just opened up a training facility here in Garden City called The Garage. He is a former bodybuilder, and honest to God, when I looked at him, I thought I was looking in the mirror. I ain't kidding.
I was going to say, it sounds like he and I have something in common. Oh, she's talking about you, not about me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was good.
Yeah. Ooh, touche, man.
Mrs. Chad.
Yes.
Well played.
But anyway, he's interested on coming on the show, and he's having a boot camp starting. Well, it started August 25th, and will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 6 to 7 p.m. But he also wants to do more days and times as long as there's an interest shown. So the classes, they run 4 weeks long. It's $100 for all 4 weeks. So contact him at 734-658-9372. So if you're interested, give him a call. So look, if you're interested in coming on the show and sharing your story, or maybe you provide a service that you would like to share with the surrounding communities, then now is the time to contact us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. If you're interested in joining our mailing list, you can email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com and just put in there, add me to your mailing list, and you will get an invite every week to the show, so you'll know exactly how to dial in and listen in. And that's about it. I think we're ready to call this a podcast. I want to thank everyone. A podcast. Listen, Mike. I want to thank everyone that participated in tonight's show. A special thanks to Representative Knezek and Mike Jones. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And our weather guy, Doppler, Tom Iwinski. Tom, thanks, buddy, if you're still there. Remember, for the latest weather info, go to DopplerTomsWeather.com. I'm telling you, you got to check that website out. If you want accurate, up-to-date weather, DopplerTomsWeather.com. Check it out. And also, Joy and Holly with their gardening tips, thank you. And thanks to everyone who hung out in the chat room with us. We appreciate your support every week. If you have a show idea or a guest you'd like us to try and get on, just send us an email, like I said, at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll do our best to provide that for you. Don't forget to join our mailing list, like I said, at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. Join us next Thursday, September 4th, for show number 215.
215.
215. At 8 p.m. right here on TalkShoe.com, show ID 82757. Should be another good one. We don't know what we'll be discussing, but you'll never know. You never know who might show up.
This is true.
We hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And also, if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. And if you're watching us on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/community chat show, don't forget to subscribe. There's a little red button there. You can just click on that, subscribe to the show. That way you'll be notified when we've posted a new one. So on behalf of David, Mike, and Tom, this is Carrie. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Good night.
Guys.
Good night. Oh, my piano solo.
All right. Good job.
That was fun. Give me sweaty ears. I cannot wait till shower today. I took out all the bushes around my house.
Are all your mics off?
Oh my.
Call recording has been completed.